My creativity heals myself and others. I am a brilliant and prolific painter. Creativity is the creator's will for me. As I create and listen, I will be led. My creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. There is a divine plan of goodness for me. There is a divine plan of goodness for my work. I am willing to be of service through my creativity. I am willing to experience my creative energy. I am willing to use my creative talents. Hi! So I'm reading The Artist's Way for the first time, and I will be creating a video each week to document my creative experience with the 12-week spiritual healing process. Now, if you've never heard of The Artist's Way, that's okay. What it is basically a guide to creative spiritual recovery. Creative blocks happen to everyone at some point or throughout their lives. Speaking for myself, my main creative block is imposter syndrome. I'll often be painting and I'll be like, who do I think I am? I've had that experience with my last video, the diorama. I was really putting myself out there, making a diorama in my bedroom, repainting all of my oil paintings that I have in my room. I kept coming out of it being like, who do I think I am? This is imposter syndrome. And my very first video is on imposter syndrome as well. But since I love drawing and painting so much, I shove that to the back of my brain so I can keep painting. But that doesn't mean it goes away. It still lives in my brain, and through The Artist's Way, I hope to recover from this spiritually. Another thing I'm excited about is I got gifted 15 canvases from Kimberly Hawkins from Greenlee Art Space in Long Beach. Artist's Way, they advise you to be less judgmental of your process, like while it's happening, and just let your creativity flow. Having free canvases gives me that freedom to explore myself, and I'm going to be using those canvases over the course of the next 12 weeks. So there's 10 tasks that The Artist's Way gives you throughout the first week to start your journey. The first one is morning pages. Every day in your journal you write 3 pages, whatever comes to your mind about your work, and then every time you see something negative that you said about yourself or your work, you highlight it and then replace it with a positive affirmation. I just woke up, so sorry if I look a little puffy, but I am going to start writing my morning pages. I've got to be honest, it's been a few days since I did it. I don't personally love journaling. It makes me feel trapped in my thoughts in a counterproductive way. Maybe that's a part of the process, is healing from that. So I'm going to try and do it this morning. Throughout my morning pages, I had several negative blurts that I went back in to reframe with a positive affirmation. I feel foolish every time I hope to be successful. I allow myself to hope for the things I deserve. I wonder if I am crazy to be waiting around for success for my art. I allow myself to be idle while awaiting news about something I really want. I don't think I believe that I deserve success. I believe with all of my heart that I deserve success. When someone says they like my work, I don't believe them. Those that appreciate my work are being genuine. There is a lack of income surrounding my art. I deserve fair pay for my brilliant paintings. I am angry with myself. I allow myself time to grow and make mistakes. The second task for the week is to take yourself on an artist date, and I went to a park in Long Beach next to the beach. I combined task number 2 and task number 8, which was to do something you would want to do in another life or your occupation. Good morning! Today I am taking myself on an artist date. I am actually going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because another task, they have you list out a bunch of occupations, and one of mine was storyboard artist. So I think today I'm going to go to the park, take myself on an artist date, use markers, and create like a storyboard for a comic. I'm getting ready and then I'm gonna go to do that.
Wanna be a good daughter, visit my father, and I'll clear the table, be mentally stable. This house is on. It sings its below song. Does it forgive and forget all that has come and left? And when I leave, will would find sympathy for me. Wanna be a good daughter and call my mother, and I'll speak the truth, tell her all that I'm going through, and I'll take the bus, stay for a night or two, and it won't make me cry, no, no, no. If they packed up my room so nothing's the same, will you find empathy for me?
The third task is you list 3 enemies of your creative self-worth. The fourth task is you take one of those enemies and you write down the horror story that happened. And then the fifth task was to write a letter to defend yourself in this situation to the editor, basically, and just explain your side of the story. Let's go get those canvases from my trunk, the trunk of my car, and let's get started. Yay! Thing I always wanted to try was an underpainting. I was always so consumed with making my next masterpiece that I never tried it, so I'm gonna try doing an underpainting today. This is also going to be my first time using artist grade paint. I normally just use the Michaels brand, so I'm excited about that. And also to not put so much pressure on myself to like make it perfect with my new paints. I can immediately tell the difference. I completely forgot to draw on the canvas before I did the underpainting. Crazy. I want to try not drawing, just painting. This is the sketch I'm going to be using as my reference. I listed out 3 of my enemies and they will not be named for obvious reasons, but what I will do is share my horror story. It was an opening gallery reception for an artist I really liked in North Hollywood. I drove over an hour to go see it. I hoped that today would be the day I finally put myself out there at a gallery and it would actually pay off. It was only the 8th month of me going to opening shows of various artists in Los Angeles galleries every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. I hoped this time I would work up the courage and speak to the owner or the curator. Everything had seemed to line up perfectly. The artist was a good person. There was a rooftop karaoke party with free pizza and my favorite wine. I naturally hit it off with the artist and a group of girls there, all of whom complimenting my paintings. One of the girls ended up being a curator at another gallery, asking me serious questions about my work, wanting to know dimensions. It ended up being too small, but was serious nonetheless. I had also made good conversation with the receptionist at the gallery, so I asked him what he thought about my most recent paintings, and he loved them. He told me he could send them to his boyfriend, who happens to be a curator at the gallery. I handed him my business card. And he also advised me to go introduce myself to the owner. He pointed out the owner to me, and I realized that I had already made conversation with this person throughout the night. I saw this as some sort of sign. I went back to the karaoke party, this time with the intention to have more conversation with the owner, talk about how I was an artist, and show him my work. It couldn't be that difficult, right? And the owner seemed rather interested. He told me to send him photos and dimensions, and we will see about getting me in the gallery. He even reminded me to send them again at the end of the night. This felt like the best night ever. My first time putting myself out there actually paid off. Weeks later, I had still not received a reply from the owner. I see online that there is a new solo show at the gallery, so I plan my week around it. I can't wait to see what happens and feed my curiosity some answers. I get there early. I am practically the first one there. I wore the same outfit that I wore on my birthday, maybe a little too dressed up. I pussyfoot around the gallery. Everything that was going right the first time was going wrong this time. I only liked one of the paintings. The artist frightened me. She had evil energy. The receptionist was new and she didn't like me very much. I walked around looking at all the pieces. None of them I liked, and I resented that. I was uninspired, confused, and resentful. I had nothing to lose at this point. A night that I was looking forward to all week, I suddenly didn't care at all about. I approached the owner and his wife. They were being polite. I sensed something was strange about the situation. They were uncomfortable. Their body language told me they had better things to do. I saw this as a game to uncover some information. So, I never heard back from you regarding my paintings that you told me to send you. Him and his wife looked at me with disbelief. He pretended not to remember, but I could tell he was lying. Oh, you don't remember? Okay, well, I sent you a bunch of photos of all my paintings with the dimensions because you said that you liked them and would see about getting them in your gallery. I never heard from you, though. I was hoping to follow up and get some sort of feedback. Their look of disbelief was still there, stronger now. He was getting a call. I looked at him like, are you really going to pick up that phone call from a private number right now? And he ignored the call. Look, I sent it to my team and none of them paid any interest. With a sarcastic undertone, still looking at his phone. I wouldn't stop painting though. Keep it up. Oh, now I really had nothing to lose. Okay, I guess I'm just curious then. What makes you and your team say yes to an artist? Now the wife was offended. Her face turned from innocent confusion to a sharp look. How do you pick out your outfits in the morning? She said as if she was reading from a script. This validated to me that I wasn't the first person that felt this way. I needed more information, and their fourth wall was still up. I needed to keep prying. They were flustered. This may be the only chance I get to get the answers I need. I understand the concept of preference. I just want insight into your preferences. For example, what made you decide these artists' work over the next? They couldn't give me an answer, but that didn't stop me. Now I knew I was right. The wife was so frustrated she called me classless and walked away. This noticeably made me sad. I began to tear up. Rather than walking away, I stayed for more answers from the husband, who felt sorry about his short-tempered wife. Simultaneously, he was too proud to not have an answer to my question. He calls himself a curator, and what curator doesn't know the answer to why they select the art that they do, or the art show they put on, or at least have some idea? He was flustered, and he gave himself away. Okay, I'll answer. There was an Indian man that's in tech that approached me earlier. He said he has a hobby of art and would like to get his pieces into galleries. I'm not just going to give opportunity to people that come up to me wanting a free ride to the top. This made sense, but it didn't answer my question. Like, what even is your background? He said to me. I did not want to answer that. See, he says, you don't even have the answer. You sent me 7 oil paintings. Now he remembers how many I sent him. The artists I select have hundreds, and they are from Vienna, Italy, Spain. So it is about their backgrounds why you choose them? It is also, I came to them. They didn't come to me at someone else's opening and tell me they paint. That's like going to someone's wedding and passing out invites to your own. Thank you for being honest with me, I said. He grabbed the small of my back. Please, keep coming to my gallery. You were the life of the party last time. Don't be such a bummer. I left and began to cry. I went back to the gallery a few months later. and he had an artist there from Long Beach, where I'm from. He also had an artist that sang racial slurs during the karaoke party. I spent the night trolling the owner to let him and myself know that I was no longer interested in being any part of this. The sixth task is you list 3 supporters of your creative self-worth, and then you write down every compliment that you can remember that these people gave you, and then you draw out your favorite compliment and make it all colorful. The 7th task is you write a thank you note to one of the supporters. The 10th one is to take yourself on a walk in nature. This was my favorite part. I'm going on a hike because I want to feel rejuvenated creatively. The best way to get inspired is just to let go. Stop chasing inspiration and just a simple walk or a hike or getting out of the city. And it forces you to think inward, almost like meditation. So come along with me. My thank you note for task number 7 is to my husband, Terrell. Dear Terrell, thank you for being the first one to believe in me. I never imagined being an artist, like the thought had never crossed my mind, until you took the time that you did to help me see it for myself. I used to think it was just fun, and you opened my eyes to the possibilities. You taught me to dream as an adult, something I never really learned how to do as a kid. You are the reason I got better at my skills. I wanted to believe in myself as much as you believed in me, so I improved. You have done so much to support me, and I will always think of you as the reason I started. Started painting, started taking myself serious, started going to galleries, started promoting myself, and started calling myself an artist. Thank you, my love. Love, Jenna. So cute.